So welcome everyone, making sure you have everything that you need for your yin practice. We have a hot Meridian yin practice, and in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, the heart is connected to the element of fire. So this practice will be to warm us up a little bit, but also to stimulate the heart meridian. Let's come into having your bolster, your blocks, your cushions, your blankets available. Perhaps you want to line your mat with your blanket. Both dogs have abandoned me and gone and sat on the sofa. Clearly they want to be cozy and warm up on the sofa. No, Danny is not there to tell them to get off the sofa. Let's settle into our easy seat, Sukhasana. Let's bring our thumb and index together in Yan for the moment. Lengthening through the crown. Closing our eyes. Take a full moment here, and I'm going to invite us to begin to adopt the 16 count breath, Samavriti Pranayam, or box breath. So in your mind's eye, you have the option of visualizing a square or an infinity symbol, the figure of 8 lying on its side. And as we breathe, we're going to breathe around the edges of this symbol, whether it's a box, a square, or an infinity symbol. We'll be going, if it's an infinity symbol, you'll be going along the bottom loop, top loop, bottom loop, top loop of this figure of 8 lying on its side. As you inhale, begin to move along the bottom of your square or one side of your infinity. And when you reach the edge or the end of that bottom layer, then hold a breath along the side of your square or along the top of one side of your infinity until you reach the point at which your infinity symbol crosses, or until you reach the corner of your square, holding that breath in. And then releasing the breath along the top side of your square, or if you're using an infinity symbol, the bottom layer of the infinity symbol as you've crossed over the middle, the bottom curve, the lower curve. And then as you reach the end there, or the point at which it begins to turn up and round and over, descending on that top loop of the infinity circle, or down the final edge of your square towards the bottom corner. So whichever symbol you've chosen, we're going to trace the breath in, pause with the breath in, exhale, then pause with the breath out. So I'll guide you through the square in the next round of breath and then the infinity for the next round. We want to try and keep this a slow, steady, equal breath. In, hold, out, hold. So for the square, starting at the bottom. Inhale all the way along. Pause for all the way along one side. Exhale along the top side of your square. Hold the breath out. Final side. Inhale along the bottom loop of your infinity symbol. And then hold the breath in as you loop up, down towards the meat, the point at which it crosses. Exhale along that bottom loop. Then hold the breath out along that top loop as it crosses back down towards the meat point. And now you choose whether you want to continue with the square image or the infinity symbol image. In, hold in, exhale, hold out, inhaling, holding in, exhaling, holding out. Your breath can be as long or as short as you wish it to be. Lengthening the breath allows us to slow down. Your shape can get bigger. Wider infinity symbol, a bigger square. So this allows you to have this Samavritti Pranayam, this balanced equal count breath, without having to add the count in your mind. You can simply follow the breath in, hold, out, hold around this symbol. One more round of this Samavritti Pranayam, box breath, infinity, circle breath. And then let's bring our hands together, releasing this breath, returning to your natural hands together in Anjali, soft fingers, softly open palm, creating a bud here. Inhaling Om 3 times. As we're working with the heart meridian, offering the Om to your heart, your loved ones, your community. This interconnectedness between all of our hearts as one organic system. Inhale fully. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Allow your bud to flower open, middle fingers opening out into a lotus, Padma Mudra. Little fingers connected, thumb connected. And gaze down into the palm. Connecting with joy, beingness, interconnectedness. The home of the spirit, the heart houses the spirit. It is the home of the spirit. Visualizing this place at the heart center. Closing your palms, releasing your hands. Let's drop the right hand down to the earth and drop your shoulder down towards that right ear, so that the right ear and the right shoulder are coming together on this side. You'll feel an extension in the left of your neck. Open out your left arm. One more breath here. Inhale, center. Release the left palm to the earth. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And again, you can lift up your right hand here to extend the side of the neck. Inhaling back to center. We're going to do some gentle tapping here. So let's start with the karate chop. So that's the side of your left hand. And just tapping here with your fingers. And as we tap along the arm here, let's chant or repeat, may I be filled with love and joy. May I be filled with love and joy. Now let's move to the inner wrist, tapping here, perhaps with your fingers, your peace fingers, or your knuckles, whatever feels comfortable for you. And we're going to trace this tapping journey along the inside of the arm to the inside of the elbow. And let's pause here at the inside of the elbow. Again, tracing all the way to the shoulder, top of the shoulder, along the collarbone, and down the sternum to the middle of the heart space here. And let's now trace the step back along the right arm, so along the right collarbone, top of the shoulder, inside of the arm, tracing the root of the heart meridians, inside of the elbows, along the lower arm to the wrist. Pause there for a moment. And karate chop, may I be filled with love and joy. Now on this side, let's turn the hand. So go to the little finger, turn the hand, and we'll travel along the outside of the arm now. So again, pausing around the wrist and traveling up along the outside of the arm. And again, let's pause around the elbow, going up and down a few times. Traveling up to the shoulder again, across the collarbone, down to the heart. Swapping hands up along the sternum to the collarbone of the left side, top of the shoulder, outside of the upper arm, pausing around the elbow. May I be filled with love and joy. Outside of the lower arm, around the wrist, to the little finger, and then the karate chop here again. And now let's back to the collarbone, the sternum here, collarbones, side of the neck, back of the ear, around the ear to the temples, outside of the eyes, so the corners of the eye here. Let's use our peace fingers, index and middle finger. May I be filled with love and joy underneath the eyes. The place where the brow meets the top of the nose, so just above the inside of the eyebrows here. Tracing along the forehead, up towards the middle of the head. And now here you might want to use the 4 fingers of each hand along the crown here, back of the head, back of the neck. And now again the shoulders, top of the shoulders here, along the collarbone, back to the heart center. And from here, we're going to lift our arm and just tap underneath the armpit of your left arm. And lift the right arm, tap underneath the right arm. So it's slightly different path and route we're adopting with our tapping today. Hands together in Padma at the heart. Full breath in, full breath out. And now let's come into our first Yin Asana. So we're going to come onto our side. And we're going to come into release along the side body. So a heart meridian release underneath the armpit and a psoas release underneath the rib cage. So for you here, you can use either some folded blankets. You can roll them up. So I've got 2 piles of blankets here. So I have 1 pile here. So you can place your armpit first. And you want to create something that's quite soft here. If you have a block, you could always use a block on its side and then cover it with a blanket again to create. And that will be still firm, but there'll be soft padding. Or you can use a bolster or a large pillow or on its side or several cushions on their side. So I'm going to go for the option where I have my block with a blanket on top. I think I might place 2 blankets on top here. There you go. So that's quite firm, so I know where my block is. Let's take the left leg out. So we're going to go over to the right first. And what we want to do is place the middle of our armpit on our creation, our block. Now your elbow might reach the earth, it might not reach the earth. If it doesn't reach the earth, you can always place something underneath so that you can place your elbow. And you use your right hand to hold your head. Your legs here are with the knees bent. They could be together or slightly apart. That is not what's happening with our legs here. We're working on our heart meridian up here. This left hand can be on the earth to support you. You can have it on your body. You can even place it on your heart. So it will feel like we're not doing very much here. So move around until you can feel some pressure on your armpit. We want a sensation of connection between under the armpit, the meridian that runs, the heart meridian that runs through there. You can close your eyes, you can cover your legs with a blanket here for extra coziness and comfort. And perhaps you, in your mind's eye, visualize someone that you love, a dearly loved one, family member, a friend, a partner. May they be filled with love and joy. May they be filled with love and joy. When we work with the heart meridian, we're releasing that innate sense of joy. The joy of being in connection with the heart. And when we extend this metta meditation, this loving kindness meditation to our friends and beyond, we're celebrating the joy of connection between our heart and their heart. The connectedness. Let's have 3 more breaths here in this heart meridian release. And now we're going to have this construction that we've created, whichever variation we've created, to lift ourselves up. We're going to shuffle it along so that the underside of our ribs are on here. So you want to feel, so You trace down the side where your rib cage ends. So you'll feel your last rib here, and you can feel the softness of your abdomen. So we want the end of our ribs and the softness of our abdomen to be over here. So the largest part of your ribs is over the other edge. Here, you'll probably want to stay on your forearm. If you want, you can come down with your head. It might feel as if you're dropping your head a bit too much. Again, you can heighten the cushions here if you wish. And again, so what we're doing is we moved our support from under the armpit to underneath the rib cage. So make sure the top of your rib cage is over it, so that mostly you can feel your soft abdomen at on your creation. And you'll feel a lengthening along the side of the ribs here. And you probably want to support your head. If I was practicing this at home, I might have my sofa or my armchair there, and I might rest my head on my sofa or my armchair. Again, your left hand can be on the heart, on your body, or on the earth, or even on your bolster support. And keep in mind this loved one, our family member, friend, partner. May they be filled with love and joy. Offering balance to them in their loving relationships, either their loving relationship with us, their loving relationship with the self, or their loving relationship with others. Oh, this one's perfect. I've eaten far too many chocolates, chocolate truffles and Prosecco, so I have a bit of a tummy ache. Overindulged. And this feels great. So this is a good one to ease the overindulgence, the exuberance that we may have indulged in to celebrate being with our loved ones. One more breath here in this, what is often called a Psoas release, but we're using it today to release the heart meridian, the lung meridian that also runs alongside the heart. One more breath here. And then let's, with helping hands, come up. Now we're going to move directly into a heart opener. So we have our little construction here. So I'm going to use this construction that we've got. And then we want to place the middle of our back at this highest point. So your head will not reach the floor. And what you want to place is enough cushions so that the back of your head is also supported by something. So we have the construction that we have at the back of the heart space is going to be higher than where we're going to rest our head. So here I have my two small cushions as usual, my rolled up blankets on a block. You could have your bolster here. And then let's turn our back towards our construction. And keeping your knees bent, we want to adjust ourselves. So this might take a little bit of finding that spot that you need to place. So I want to place, ideally I want the section of my back. So if you wear a bra, that's where your bra strap will be. It's kind of at your shoulder blade level. You will immediately feel an opening across the sternum and the heart here. Now that will feel comfortable for you. So make sure, that's where I might lose various bits on my, so make sure you have enough of a layer there. So I actually need one more cushion. I'll use this block at the bottom here. Okay, I'll go to your bedtime. So I'm going to check that my head can reach where I want it to. Okay. And then when you're ready, when you're comfortable, so you'll have a throat opening here, a heart opener here. And then your arms can be alongside your body. You can keep your knees, your feet on the earth, knees bend, or you can extend your legs long. See what feels comfortable for you. Relax into your shoulders here. This heart opener and this neck opening of the throat chakra here, the heart chakra. We won't be here for long. That's the dogs playing, sorry. They always play up when I'm on my own. If your back of your neck feels really uncomfortable here, then you can always add another layer to your cushion. You might find here that if you try to lift your head up, it's going to feel very heavy and uncomfortable for your neck. So when we come out of this pose, what you want to do is roll over onto your side and then lift up. The heart is very open here. By also opening up the throat here in this heart opener. This is a supported fish pose. Matsyasana, as you might know it. Here we're expressing the joy of the heart, being able to communicate it. One more breath here. And then roll over onto one side. I'm going to roll over onto my left side because the heart is on the left side. And then rest here on your side for a moment. You can always slide across your cushions. And take a moment there. So we want to now place the left armpit and the left side of the rib cage on. So you'll have rolled onto that side. I'm going to turn over because I didn't do that for obvious reasons. So we want to place our left armpit on our little construction here, our bolster. So excuse me for having my back to you at the moment. And again, we want to place our left elbow on the earth. Perhaps we hold our head in our left palm and move around until you feel a proper connection between your armpit and your bolster. Your right hand can be on the earth or you can rest it on your body. And now I invite you to think about another loved one. Someone else who you are deeply connected to. May they be filled with love and joy. May they be filled with love and joy. Extending this sense of connection between you and your loved one. And knowing that some of our relationships with our loved ones may not always be simple or straightforward. There may be complexity. There may be misunderstandings, maybe troubled periods in your relationship. It is the endurance of these relationships that we celebrate. That deep connection remains, or perhaps even becomes strengthened during those challenging parts of our relationship. I always offer to you an invitation to close your eyes at any point. And I particularly enjoy closing my eyes when I visualize. I'm withdrawing my physical sense of sight and connecting with my sense of inner sight, insight. This eye, the mind's eye. One more breath here in this heart meridian release at the armpit. And again, we're going to lift ourselves up and maybe slightly slide, or perhaps we move, whatever's easiest for you, our bolster on our left side here. So again, you want to feel where the rib cage ends and where it joins in with your abdomen, the soft part of your abdomen. And so place the top of your rib cage there, so that most of the soft part of your abdomen is in connection with the bolster equivalent. And you probably want to be on your left arm here, or add another cushion as I did. And this right hand can be on your body, on the earth, on your construction, your bolster. It feels quite comfortable there. And continue to hold in your mind, in your heart, your loved one to whom you are extending this affirmation of love, metta love, loving kindness. May they be filled with love and joy. Stimulating the heart meridian, the lung meridian, the heart, which is the home of the spirit. One more breath here. We could stay here forever, but we won't. Now we're going to roll over onto our abdomen slightly. So you might need to come onto your knees here. Check that your bolster or your little creation, this little mound that you've created, we want to place our elbows on here now. So move back, take your knees as wide as your mat, big toes touch. And then position your construction so you can place your elbows on here. And then bring your hands at the back of your head, either in Anjali, this soft bud, or Lotus Padma Mudra. So Anjali Mudra, which is where your fingertips are connected, your thumbs, the little fingers are connected, palms are softly open. Or you can open your palms completely by drawing out the middle fingers, and thumbs and little fingers are connected. So you can really feel this extension along the side of your body, underneath your arms, back of your arms. This is child's pose. And this is one of the most delicious ways to do the child's pose. Your eyebrow center will be resting on your bolster. Again, soften here. Drop down into your heart space. And in this pose, I invite you to bring to your mind's eye a loved one who has passed, a loved one who is now lost or gone from you, either through bereavement or heartbreak. Or simply by life moving on. And bring them in your mind's eye, wherever they are, whichever phase of transition they are, offering them love and joy. May my lost love, my lost loved one, be filled with joy and love. May my lost loved one be filled with joy and love. And here, as you are connected with the root through the lower body, connected with the earth, and your heart is protected within your rib cage, within the home of your rib cage, you can allow yourself to be vulnerable while within this safety of the body. May my lost loved one be filled with love and joy, wherever they may be. Six more breaths here. And now from here, releasing your mudra, taking your left arm threaded underneath your body, and bring your left ear to rest on your bolster. So your left arm is threaded underneath your body. Your left ear is on your support, so maybe you hug it in. This right hand can be wrapped around your lower back over towards your left hip. You might be able to tuck your fingers into the top of your left thigh. And because you've been connecting with a lost loved one here, you might notice some emotion has been rising, and perhaps you feel something in your throat. Your emotions may have been released. And here, if it helps, perhaps you give expression to your loved one's name, the loved one who is lost to you, who is gone from this part of your life. Not gone forever, not lost forever. Always within reach of your memory. One more breath here. And then let's release the right hand, slide the left hand back and turn onto your right shoulder, thread your right arm underneath you. And again, wrap the left hand around your lower back. Perhaps you can tuck it into the top of your right thigh or have it resting on the right side of your lower back, so that you have a twist here in the upper arm of the right arm. So as we connect with the home of the spirit, we begin to connect with our spiritual awareness, that of physical existence, this human experience that we are having, that beyond this realm, at an energetic level, perhaps you believe in a concept of reincarnation, or whichever faith or tradition you descend from, to help you understand the connection between ourselves and the spiritual, the explanation, the faith or the trust that is cultivated or fostered by our wisdom traditions of our own culture, that which we have inherited from our ancestors, or perhaps which we have developed, a philosophy that we have adopted. One more breath here, with the right arm threaded underneath you, left hand wrapped around your lower back or right hip. Let's release that left hand and draw out the right arm. And take a moment here. We're going to move into supported butterfly. Now, we might have our connection here, but we want to think about how we can have a connection that feels more supportive. So if you have a bolster, you can have that at an angle. If you're already using your bolster, again, have it at an angle. So this time we want it lengthways so that it can support the length of our back. And what we want to do is have our head supported. So this is like what my homemade version would look like. If I wanted to make my home version, you could have several of your large pillows stacked with some cushions at the top of it so that you can create an angle for your spine. So that would be my home version. So let's use my home version rather than my bolster. If you have a bolster, please use your bolster. And at the top of your bolster, you will stack some large books or bricks so that your bolster is at an angle. Let's bring the soles of our feet together, legs open here in butterfly shape. And remember, if this doesn't feel comfortable, you can always bend into your knees, have your feet on the earth and knock your knees in together. So by the legs open, your knees locked in together. Now, you want to check out how stable that is and how comfortable it is. So lowering yourself gradually. Oh, and this is ideal for me. So I'm very comfortable here. And your arms can be alongside you. Tuck your chin in here. So you want to be able to tuck your chin slightly here. So this is very different to supported fish. Supported fish is open across the heart and open at the throat. Here we want to have length at the back of our neck. So our chin is slightly tucked in. So you might need to place something else under the top of the head here. Soles of the feet together, legs in Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Remember, if your lower back doesn't feel comfortable here, you can always bend into your knees, take your feet as wide as your mat, and your knees are supporting one another. It's constructive rest variation with the legs. And now I'm going to invite you to offer loving kindness to members of your community beyond your immediate family, beyond your extended family, your friends group, your community. So thinking about the layers, moving from your relationship with your heart, relationship with your most dearly loved ones, and those perhaps in our friendship circles or work acquaintances or extended family, perhaps to whom we are less close, and then the layer beyond, the community. May all in my circle, whether immediate or beyond, be filled with love and joy. May they feel the exuberance of connection between all of us, the exuberance of support when you know that you are supported by others. You feel uplifted, elevated. May they be filled with love and joy. May my circle of extended family, friendships, community be filled with love and joy. So making sure that your spine feels supported here wherever you are, that you have space at the back of your neck so that you can tuck in your chin slightly, make any adjustments that you need. Your heart is open here. And perhaps you even visualize the strands of energy exuding from your heart space like rays of sunshine, golden light, reaching out, visualizing this circle of community around you, this circle of friends, this circle of support. We'll be here for another minute. Remember, the element of fire in TCM sits in the heart space, whereas in Indian philosophy, the element of air sits with the heart space. In Indian philosophy, the heart is connected to this expansiveness of air. In Chinese philosophy, the warmth of the heart is connected to philosophies that have grown and developed often alongside each other, sharing many principles in common. Three more breaths here in butterfly, supported butterfly Baddha-Konasana. And then wherever you are, let's helping hands bring the knees together. And we're going to gently roll over onto one side, coming off our bolster or support with care. And then let's just lie here along the side here. I'm going to use my arm that's closest to the earth as a pillow. Take a moment here. We're going to move into an open twist here. So you may want to make sure that you have some space here, moving your bolster away. Our legs are already on one side, so it doesn't matter if you're on the same side as me or on the opposite side of me. So I'm just going to lower, I'm going to take away the block from my blankets, but I might keep one layer of my blanket there so that when I open up across the heart space, I can rest my shoulder blade on a blanket. So I'll join you back there, we all are. Now begin to roll this top shoulder down towards the earth behind you, so that the top of your shoulder and your shoulder blade either connect with the earth or connect with your blanket. Twist, deep twist here at the abdomen. My legs are together. I'm going to open up my lower arm either out to the side or overhead. And I have my cushions there, so that's quite restful for me. My arm with the shoulder connected with the earth, I can open out my arm to the side, or I can leave my hand resting on my hips here. The opening here is across the heart and underneath that left, the armpit that's closest to the earth, either extended out or overhead. See what you prefer, whether you prefer it extended out or overhead. When you're practicing yin at home, you can often flow quite smoothly from and transition quite smoothly from one shape, pose, position, asana into the next by just moving around your support props. Beautiful twist here. Now we're going to go to the other side. So lower the arm that's raised above you, bring it down. Come onto your lower, roll onto your back Let's drop the knees in the opposite direction. And you might want to take over your body the folded blanket so that it goes underneath that shoulder now, the opposite shoulder. And again, take the arm that's on the same side as your knees, overhead or out to the side. So you feel a twist in your lower abdomen. Heart is open, armpits are open. Arms either reaching out to the side or overhead, perhaps. Shoulder blades connected with the earth. As spring unfolds, the dream of the earth, may you bring each other's hearts to birth. I'm going to invite you to bring your legs to center and move into Shavasana. Your comfortable Shavasana here, covering yourself with your blanket, eye pillow covering your eyes. As spring unfolds the dream of the earth, may you bring each other's hearts to birth. As the ocean finds calm in view of land, may you love the gaze of each other's minds. As the wind arises free and wild, may nothing negative control your lives. As kindly as moonlight might search the dark, so gentle may you be when light grows scarce. As surprised as the silence that music opens, may your words for each other be touched with reverence. As warmly as the air draws in the light, may you welcome each other's every gift. As elegant as dream absorbing the night, may sleep find you clear of anger and hurt. As twilight harvests all the day's colors, may love bring you home to each other. May love bring you home to each other. May love bring you home to each other. John O'Donoghue. I invite you to soften and surrender to your Shavasana, resting here in a state of relaxation and warmth for at least 5 minutes more beyond the class. And when you are ready to rise, rolling over onto your left side, and then coming up with grace and ease into your Sukhasana, your easy seat, and closing your time with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti for your heart, the hearts of your loved ones and the hearts of your community. I will close now from this part of our class together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.